So you guys, the connection is through the Jason's Stapleton show, and you had mentioned, Matt, that he was going through a transition into where he is now. But you guys have been there through that transition. How has that been? Because you know, I mean, and I think it's safe to say, like, you guys are riding together with him. I mean, that the story is there. Have there been tensions, or you ride with them, you trust them enough to, what I'm saying? Because I mean, that's the question, is like, so this is for both of you guys. I mean, how has that ride been with him?
I think it's been a lot easier for Matt than it's been for me. I tend to get very possessive mama bear over the people that I love. And so it was hard for me to not take things personal when we were being attacked, and to not stick up for Matt and Jason. And I had to realize that it wasn't really my place, that these people that were attacking us didn't matter. And half of them have come back to listening to us and asking for advice and paying us to be part of our network. And it took a little bit of time for me to trust the process, but I trusted Jason and I trust Matt endlessly. But so I came around. I don't know. How do you feel?
It was definitely it hasn't always been smooth. It hasn't always been easy, but what we've been able to really, we've got a clear vision, and it took a little while for that vision to come to kind of come together, and even now, even today, there's still a lot that we don't know about the future. We don't necessarily know exactly how everything's going to work, but it's been incredibly rewarding to number one, to have the I told you so factor, to be ahead of the curve on something, and then to have people, especially people who were very vehemently attacking us, to have them turn around and be like, you guys were right. I didn't, I was, that's obviously extremely gratifying whenever that happens. But
go.
But especially to see the tangible, genuine changes that the work that we're doing is having in people's lives, to listen to people talk about how, because of listening to us on the show, it transformed the way that they approach their work life, and they've taken on a second job, or they've quit their job altogether and started a side hustle, and now they've quadrupled their salary, or those types of stories. We get them all the time. And number one, to have the privilege to be able to just sit here at a desk in a bedroom in my house and just talk to people about stuff that's important to me, and to turn around and hear that is having a profound impact on people, that's changing their lives, it's just an incredible blessing. And it's something that really wasn't available to a lot of people prior to the last several years or decade or so. The world is changing really rapidly. So to be able to have that positive impact on people, that tells me that we're going in the right direction, that we're doing the right thing. And that makes it easier when we're going through a hard time, when there's like obstacles that, we don't know how this is going to be resolved. We don't know what we're going to do, but we know that we're doing the right thing, and that we are where we're supposed to be. So as long as we keep solving each individual problem in front of us, we know that the problems of tomorrow and the next day are going to be solved for themselves. And since we're in the right place, since we know that we're doing the right thing, it makes that process a lot easier. No,
I hear you. Then, Matt, you've mentioned on the King Pill, on your podcast, that you want to create an echo chamber of people that mostly agree with you. And sometimes in a way, a marriage is like that. And, there's a lot of value in that, because you want to be hanging around with people that are aligned with, what you're trying to do. But, I want to know how you guys, because you brought it up, Amy, how you guys deal with negative outside interference, because that type of energy tries to penetrate and can cause sometimes tensions within y'all's own echo chamber or marriage. Can you guys speak to how you guys deal with that? How y'all's and it depends how personal you want to get, how you guys say, hey, how you guys deal with that, because that is your team. And, we're just talking about sports and all that, but, it's meant to be like that. Hey, this is how we come together and then we grow stronger or this or that. Can you guys kind of speak to that a little bit?
I think for me, before the baby, it was a lot harder. And I think there was a lot more negativity in our relationship. And it was harder to let go of some of the outside forces. And now, like, as soon as we turn off our phones or turn off the computer, like, the most awesome person in the world is downstairs. And we get to go hang out with him. And he's got a great sense of humor. And so none of the other stuff matters. And for me, and I think this is probably the privilege of being a woman and the wife, is I trust him and just let him handle a lot of that stuff. And he's kind of like water off a duck's ass. He kind of just lets go of stuff a lot easier than I do. So I can let go, let God, and trust that he's got all the haters handled and all of that. And in the tensions within the company, we are able to kind of talk each other through situations, I think. And a lot of it can be like miscommunication just through text, because our entire company is online now. Jason lives in another state. We've seen him in person like 3 times this year. So anything business-wise, we are able to have each other's back. And I think that's a really beneficial thing when you have a married couple within a company. But it also, at the same time, is we're never off work because one of us is always working.
That's one of the downsides of working from home is it's not all, peaches and cream. Like the fact that there's times where I genuinely miss and yearn for the days where I could get off work and clock out and get in my car and just let my brain go, drive home, listen to a podcast, a book on an audiobook or whatever, and get home and just put my feet up. And just, it was like, even if I'm like doing chores around the house or walking the dog or whatever, it's like work is gone. Work is at work and I'll get back to it tomorrow. But for the rest of the night, our time is ours. We don't have that anymore. And we probably never really will again. And so
that's also a huge difference in our personalities. Is he's a work to live and I'm a live to work.
Other way around. Yeah.
I enjoy working constantly and he hates it. And I also, for me, I have to, nurse, pump, do laundry, fold baby clothes, all of that stuff that I've taken on as my responsibility. So I'm working full time and, mothering full time and housekeeping full time and all of that and stuff. So at 11 o'clock at night, it might be my work time, and that drives him crazy.
Because I want to be able to have the boundaries. I want to be able to have our home and have our home be shielded from everything outside. I want to have our little like cocooned area kind of that's just us. It's just our time for just us. And that really what that is
Amy, are you saying that you're more open borders? Is that what you're saying, Amy?
Really, it's just a matter of like that's something that we have to work for. Let's say when you have so thoroughly established yourself financially and in terms of the value that you've provided to the world and the extent to which you control the source of your own income, then you begin to earn luxuries like that. So we don't have to we may not get to leave work at work and then just have our own little oasis at home, but we also get to basically function on our own schedule. Mm-hmm. And we get to spend all any time we want, we can go hang out with our son. Even when we're in the middle of working, I can put down what I'm doing and I can go right over and hang out with him and go take him for a walk, go be able to experience him. And that's something that a lot of people don't get. Most people don't get that with their children. They are at work or their children are at school, and for whatever reason, they don't get to personally connect with them. So that's a huge privilege. And it's something that we definitely appreciate that. That's a good part about it. Yeah. That's something I would never trade. I'd never be able to go punch a clock for someone again. It just doesn't, it would make me insane. So ultimately life is about the trade-offs. and all economic activity is just trade-offs, cost benefit analyses, and you decide that the costs are worth the benefits. And so for us, we've decided that the costs associated with working from home and living the lifestyle that we have are worth the benefits, which are primarily the time we get to spend with each other and with our son.
And how do you feel like you handle the negativity and the outsiders, to bring us back to the actual question?
I'm someone who tends to really internalize negative emotion a lot. I stress about things, and I like externally, I'm able to let things go, and especially like interpersonal things, it's like the things that I don't care about, I just don't care about at all. I can let them go right away. It's no problem at all. Then there's a few select things that I do care about, and I obsess about them, and I give myself an ulcer stressing and thinking about them all the time. So I ultimately, the way we tend to be is I tend to be very much kind of like the long range thinker, very kind of trapped in the future, and always kind of trying to imagine what the future is going to look like and trying to come up with the best possible plan. And then Amy is very much she's very good at just being aware of details and every single thing that's going on around us at all times. So she keeps me from getting lost in the clouds, and then I keep her from getting too trapped to the ground. So we wind up balancing each other out like that really well. So ultimately, I think early on we struggled, especially when we first transitioned to working from home and working with Jason. I think we struggled with a lot of these new challenges, and there was a lot of difficult times, and having social groups that just kind of turned their backs on us and abandoned us was difficult. That was hard. But I don't know, it maybe sounds kind of a little cheesy or something, but like it really pulled us together. I think it united us and gave us kind of a united focus. And we got a little bit of a like us against the world sort of thing, where we're like, we're going to be successful just to prove you wrong. You just gave us extra fuel to the fire. So we're gonna make all of this happen just to spite you guys. Kind of that sort of dynamic was there as well.